Hello, Mr. Ed here. Today is November 8th, 2018. It's Saturday, and Wreck-It Ralph and I, we ought to be out wrangling bees right now, but outside temperature is it's in the lower mid-40s right now, and it's just not be a good day to do some wrangling. So I decided to bring it on into the honey hut and get ready to melt some wax today, just render wax. And what I wanted to do, kind of like to show the difference, because we have basically there's two kinds of wax. We have cappings, which are these right here, and then we have just like, you know, from your comb, your brood comb, your wax comb, this kind of stuff right here. Oh, you've got rubber bands on it. And there's a difference between the two when you melt it. So when I melt these, I want to separate them. The cappings, they're more valuable. There's more value to these because it's a more of a pure wax, and it's more desirable in cosmetics and candle making as opposed to the regular comb wax. But that works as well too for some practices. But for the most part, the capping wax is got more value, so I separate it. So where do cappings come from? Well, let me grab a frame and I'm going to show you this. All right. So here's a frame of it was a honey frame, and on it you can see. Let me get close to the camera so you can see this. You can see the wax has been drawn out, and what the bees do is they'll draw the wax out from the foundation. And here's the foundation right underneath there. They'll draw it out, and they'll draw the wax out, and it'll form the cells, and then they'll start filling the cells with honey. Then once the honey has been brought down to the proper moisture level, they'll go ahead and cap the honey. And at that point, you know, as a beekeeper, we can harvest the honey once it's capped. Well, the capping wax, it's brand new wax, and so that's why it's more desirable. It's brand new. It's white or yellow, depending on the source of pollen. But for the most part, it's very white. And so, where do the cappings come from? Well, they're on the comb right here. It's how do they come off? Well, we use this machine right here, which is called a uncapping machine. I'll grab the camera and I'm going to show you how this machine removes the cappings. All right, there's many ways of uncapping honey. Some people will just use the little scrapers and scrape the capping off, or use a knife and cut the capping off. But our production is a little bit more, so I use a machine, and this machine is a chain uncapper. There's two basic types of uncappers, a chain uncapper and a knife uncapper. I prefer the chain uncapper, and that's why I bought one, because it does a little, in my opinion, a better job. Now, as I remove this, I can show you where the chains are. Now here's the chains. You have a roller on the top with a bunch of rollers on it, and a roller on the bottom with a bunch of rollers on it, chains on it. And as the frames are running through the conveyor right here, and they'll pass through the chains, and the chains, as they're spinning around, will drag on the comb, and they will drag that capping off of the comb. And then it'll just fall down into this tray right here. And then, of course, there's a lot of honey coming out with that too. So the cappings and the honey will all drip down to this end of it, and then it all falls down into that bucket right there. That's my capping bucket right there. So we have a nice bucket full of cappings right there. And then we also have 2 bags of just regular comb wax. So what I'm going to do today is melt or render both these types of waxes, and then it's going to take 2 days, 3 days to do this. And then I'll show you the difference between the 2 different types of wax. So we'll head over to the mechanic building where our wax melter is, and we'll start this whole process. And here we are in the old mechanic shop, and that's the kettle right there. And I don't know if you can hear the burner just kicked on. So it's already ready to go. I've got the water in it already, and I'm ready to start dumping cappings inside of here, and we're gonna melt that. So we're gonna go ahead and start doing that right this second. And that's what it looks like after it's all in the pot. That is quite a bit of wax in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just close it up, time it, see how long it takes to melt down. In 20 minutes, I think this thing should be done. Now I do have some more cappings in the bottom right here, but that's still got a lot of, not a lot, but there's a good bit of honey in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the back porch of the honey hut and let the bees finish cleaning it out, and then I'll melt this stuff too. All right, it's been about 40-45 minutes since we started this. I see the steam is coming out the side, so I'm pretty sure it's cooked. I mean, it smells so good. I wish y'all could smell this, because it really does smell nice in here. That's why you have the bees flying around in here, because they can smell it as well. So let's open it up and see what we're looking like. Yeah, I think that's melted down pretty good. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the gate. I'm going to put a screen over that, see if we can catch some of that dirty stuff on the top. But I do have a screen in there. Oh, sorry about that. Steam got you. I'm going to go ahead and open up the gate and see if we can catch some of that stuff through a screen and let this stuff settle down. Well, that's what you want to see. You want to see all that nasty stuff staying behind and not in your wax. So I'm going to go ahead and lift out the little screen part that I put in there and scrape out the other stuff and clean out the kettle for our next run, which is the really nasty wax. All right, let's take a look at what our wax is looking at. I mean, it's just water basically right now. It's just so liquidy. But I got to do this kind of quick because the bees are just flying all over and they're going to just go right inside of it because it smells so good. So let's take a quick peek. Alright, got a little bit of junk on it. And for the most part, it looks pretty good. So I'll keep this lid on it so we don't get any bees in it. Now let me show you, I'm already set up for the next batch for the comb wax. So let me show you the kettle there. Yeah, here's my setup. I got the kettle as clean as it needs to get because it's going to get filthy with this. And I just put my screen in the bottom of it. I'm just going to dump the wax inside of it and turn on the kettle. There it is. It might look like a lot, but when it comes down to melting it, it's not that big. So let's go ahead and close the lid and check back probably about a half an hour. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, it's probably been about 45-50 minutes, and let's go ahead and check and see what we're looking like. That is a lot of nasty cocoons on the top right there. But the wax is all melted underneath it. Our screen has caught all most of the nasty stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and put the strainer on the bucket, and we're going to go ahead and empty out our wax. This is what we're left with after getting the little bit of wax out of all that stuff that we could. It's all just the cocoons and just the garbage that's inside of the beeswax. This old beeswax, and I see there's little maggots in there. They're cooked in there as well. And let me show you the wax that we got in that bucket. And here's our wax, and look how yellow that stuff is. It's just so it's like school bus yellow, and it's already starting to harden up in the bottom. All right, that's about all I have for you for today, at least. I'll pick this thing up tomorrow, Sunday, so it'll be Monday that I pick it up, and I'll show you our blocks of wax and at least the differences in them, and then we may refine them again. We'll see. All right, it's early Monday morning, and I want to do this early before the shop opens up, because once the shop opens up, we're gonna have all kind of noise. I won't be able to get to it, and y'all will be hearing all that noise back there. I got molding to run. I got a lot to do today, but I want to still get to this wax and show you where the wax is at this time right now. So I'm gonna grab the camera, take the lids off of the two buckets, and show you the difference between the capping wax and the comb wax. All right, so let's do the big reveal. We're gonna start with the comb wax first, and there's a little bit of water on the top, but you can see the color of that, pretty yellow, almost the school bus yellow, signal yellow as they call it. And then in this bucket we have our capping wax, and look how white compared to that one it is. So let's go ahead and dump these two buckets out and see what we're looking like. Look at this, folks. How about that? Is that a difference in color? Can you tell? Guys, I'm now ready. I'm going to go ahead and melt these each separately again, but I'm going to melt them both one more time and refine them one more time, get them a little bit more pure. And I'll show you what that looks like after I'm all finished. Oh, it's cold. Today is Tuesday. It's already been I started that stuff on Saturday, and I did the second rendering on yesterday, and so this morning, man, it's about, it might even be 30 in the upper 30s now. It's overcast, nasty, it's drizzly, but I want to finish up this video and see if we can get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the buckets of the second rendering, and I'm going to dump them out and show you what we're looking like at this point. So let me go grab those and dump them out. It's cold. And this is what they look like after that second rendering. This is our capping in this bucket, and then our regular comb in this bucket. Quite the difference in color, that is for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and dump these things out. Yeah. Now, folks, that's what I call some beautiful, beautiful wax. Oh, you ought to smell this stuff. It is so sweet smelling. All right, so that's all I got for you in this video because I want to get inside. It's cold out here. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching. I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, I'm out of here until the next video. Hey, I wanted to get you a shot of this. The bees and look, his 3 yellow jackets right there. They're getting the, I assume it's propolis is what they're getting out of that. That was just some of the wax that was in the kettle that I just scooped onto that piece of wood just to clean up the kettle. But it's interesting to see the bees going to town on that stuff, trying to get whatever they can out of it to bring it back. Look at the bees eating the capping wet honey, huh? They'll have this all cleaned up for me. I might be able to throw this back into the tank on Monday.